I just start? Start with the mangala shlokam. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunataya Nathaya Sitaya Pataya Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Saketakhyajyayamasīdya vipradeeptaryādhara purajita devadya vishvasagrya savasharava varashava sagrya sashva vidyavadeta jirapuhu radharyapta dipra vidya simaya jyakhyata kesa Kamabhasthalasara Shri Saudha Saughanavapika Sarasarvapinasa Ragakara Subhuribhuhu Bhuribhusurakagara Sana Pivarasarasa Kapivanagha Saudhaso Shri Rasalasthabhamaka. So we saw till the third shloka. We'll do the fourth shloka. We saw the cursory meaning of 4a, the Anuloma Padyam. So Rama Dhama Samanenam Agorodhanam Asatam Namaham Akshararasam Tarabhastu Navedaya Yadavenastu Bharata Samraraksha Mahamanaha Tamsa Manadharo Goman Anemasama Dhama Raha Rama Dhama Samana Inam Agorodhanam Asa Tam Na Amaham Akshararasam Tara abhahatu na veda ya. This is the padachedam for 4a. Now the anvaya here is ya tarabhaha na veda tam namaham akshararasam agorodhanam samanenam ramadhama asa. So Rama stayed in that, Rama completely he enveloped the city called Ayodhya. So that is the description in this Anuloma Padyam. Now the chandas here is Anushtup, like the earlier shloka. The third one was also Anushtup. The fourth is also Anushtup here. We know the definition of this. So let's move on to the meaning. So Ya Ayodhya Tarabhaha Naveda, the Ayodhya that did not know the light of stars. So that is Taranam Abhaha Naveda. This Tara is just an Upalakshanam for all of the other luminous objects in the sky, like Surya, Chandra, Tara, Nakshatram, all of these also. So Tesham Rashmin Ya Puri Naveda, Ayodhya Naveda Eva. So what does that mean? It means that it was so thick and filled with the buildings and trees and Upavanam and all that, that it was very difficult to see the sky and any object that is shining in the sky. So this is one adjective. So Ya Evam Asit, Ya Ayodhya Tarabhaha Naveda Tam Ayodhyam Ramadhama Asa. That's the main sentence here. So Tam Ayodhyam Kidrishim Ayodhyam Punaha Namaham iti chet Ayodhya, which did not know Utsavam. That is, there was always festival in that Ayodhya. Mahaha Utsavaha, na Mahaha is Amahaha. So Anutsavaha na Vidyate. Again, there is a na there. So a double negative is usually used to enforce, stress the original word. So if you say Utsava, na Utsavaha iti chetu Utsavaha eva asit iti avadharanartham tatra nishedhadvayam. So when you use two negatives, it only reinforces or emphasizes more onto the main word. Okay, so atra tam namaham, that Ayodhya which always was in a festive mood. So tam, further, it was Akshara tam, Ayodhyam is the Karmapadam here. Now we go to the Kartripadam. Akshararasam, Agorodhanam, Samanenam, Ramadhama, asa. So asa is, I said we have to take it in the sense of deeptau. Rama Dhama was shining, or it has the lustre called Rama. Dhama is lustre, Kanti. So the Kanti called Rama had pervaded the city, or it had captured the city. It had gone to the city. Right, Gati also is possible here. Deeptau is also possible. So it lit up the entire city. How is that Rama Dhama? Samanenam. It is equal to Surya. Sadrishaha inaha yasya. Yasya sadrishaha inaha vartate. So Surya sadrisham kantihi or tejaha, Rama tejaha. So this, the lustre of Rama was equal to or very similar to Surya. And then it is akshara rasam, just the aksharaha rasaha. It is an anandam which has no kshaya at all. Ksharaha iti chet tatra, you would have read in Gita, if people are familiar with Gita, you know ksharaha aksharaschaiva. So aksharaha is Brahma, ksharaha is everything else, right? So he is the Rama Brahmam. Sometimes we say Rama Brahmam. So Rama is the supreme ultimate reality here. So Rama Brahmam iti. So aksharaha, nityaha. He is the nitya vastu and he is the ananda vastu also. So nityananda vastuhu iti akshara rasam. Rasam iti chet, you take it as the essence of the world. The essence of the world is the supreme reality here. And ago rodhanam Ramadhama. Agaha nama agasam papanam rodhanam nivaranam yaha karoti, or yena agasam nivaranam bhavati saha Ramaha athava tat Rama tejaha. So by which the papam is completely gone. Rameti dvyakshara japaha sarvapapanodakaha gachan tishtan shayanaha va manujaha Rama kirtanat. So by saying Ramanama anytime, it removes our papam. Papa apanodakaha dvyakshara japaha. It is a japam with 2 aksharas which is capable of removing our papam. So the same, that is the essence that Shiva also tells Parvati in the Vishnu Sahasranamam, Rama Rama, Sri Rama 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 iti, Rame Rame Manorame iti, tatrapi Shivena uktam. Khalu? Now here there is an alankara. Let's look at the alankara here. It is an alankara called Upama Alankara, which is the basis for all alankaras. The first alankara that we read when we start reading Alankara Shastra is Upama Alankara. Upama Alankara is simile in any language you take. Okay, even if you read parts of speech, figures of speech in English, you are going to read simile first. Then only you will go to metaphor, which is Rupakam. If you read Tamil, Omayani, that is the first thing that you always go, because it's the easiest for us to understand if all of the parts are also present. So there are 2 types of Upama Alankara. One is Purnopama, the other is Luktopama. So why Purna and Lukta? I'm sure a lot of you have read Kovida or Samskrita Bharati, some of the lessons, or if you have read Chittur, so you would have read a basic number of alankaras here. So the first alankara where all 4 aspects are present is called Purnopama. If any of those 4 aspects are not present, then it is Luktopama. So what are the 4 elements in Upama? You have Upameyam, Upamana, Upamavachaka Shabda, and Sadharana Dharma. Upameyam is that which we want to describe. So what is the context of description here? Rama Dhama. So Rama Nama Tejaha, the lustre, that is Rama. So there itself you are doing one Rupakam, we'll forget about that. Okay, so the lustre of Rama is being described here. So Rama Dhama is the Upameya. Upamanam is, what are you comparing it with? That is the Surya. Inaha. Samanenam iti padam svikurmaha prathamam tatra. Atraiva upama vartate. So Rama Dhama Samanenam Asa. These are the 4 words that we are considering for Upama Alankara to analyze and see whether all of them fit. So Rama Dhama is the description, which is the upameyam. Upamanam, what are you comparing it with? You are comparing it and saying he is like Surya. Samana is the word in that samanenam. The word samana becomes the upama vachaka shabda. What does it mean? It indicates that these two objects are being compared. We are not saying both are the same. The luster of Rama and Surya are the same is not what we are saying. We are saying this is samanam, this is sadrisham, this is equal to Surya. So that equal word is being expressed by either iva, vagartha, vyoma-samskrta, vagartha pratipattaye. You have iva there. Yatha can come. Vat can come. Okay, Ramadivat vartitavyam natu Ravanadivat. Right? You have to. Why do we read Itihasas and Puranas? We learn how to be Ramadivat, like Rama. Vartitavyam. We have to live like Rama. Natu Ravanadivat, not like Ravana. So that Vat Pratyaya is also used to give Tulyartha. You can use Tulyam. You can use Samana, Sadrisha. These are all different words to use when you want to compare two objects. So that is called the vachakaha. Vachakaha ityukte shabdaha. That's all. So upama vachakaha shabdaha. That word which indicates upama, or that which tells us directly that there is a comparison going on here. The samana dharma was a little tricky first. I thought it was luktopama. But then when we take asa, that's why I kept saying take asa as deeptav. Just as how Rama's luster lights up the entire Ayodhya, or just as how the sun lights up the entire world, in the same way, the light of luster of Rama lights up Ayodhya. So, asa, if you take it as Deepti, then that becomes the Samana Dharma, okay, through the Kriyapada. So you're comparing Surya, and that is why probably, if you look at Ramayanam in the Yuddha Kandam, Agastya comes and tells him about Aditya Hridayam. So that Aditya Hridayam, if you read Aditya Hridayam, there are 3 levels to it. One level is just a plain meaning, which is, Puranartha. And then the second layer, if you go to it, it is a more, the Upasana level where you are looking at Surya Bhagavan. And then when you go to the third level, it talks completely about Surya as Brahman. No, he is the supreme reality. So you have that whole stotram is about telling Rama, giving him that inspiration that you are the Brahman. It's not, and it's for us also not to feel down whenever we are faced with a difficulty. Okay, Ishvara karyam tatra kartavyam iti smaranartham stotram. Okay, now this is Upama Alankara here. There is another Alankara called Parayoktam. We are going to see this Parayokta in many places later. You can take this as a common thing in this text here. Parayoktam tu gamyasya vachaha bhangyantara ashrayam. Bhangyantara anyam bhangim ashritya yatra uktihi vartate tatra tu Parayoktam alankaraha. Wherever we don't want to say straight. Okay, we want to touch the nose around our head and not do this. That in Alankara Shastra, in Kavyam, is called Parayoktam Alankaraha. Paryaya is you are trying to give one by one and then doing it in a roundabout way. But it should also be beautiful. You can't say that, oh, I'm doing it in a roundabout way, but then it means this. Tathanasti. You look at something which is very beautiful and attractive in that roundabout manner. So what is being said here? Instead of saying that Ayodhya is thick with the forests or with the gardens and buildings, he is using the word and saying tarabhaha naveda, that which did not know nakshatra light at all. Iti. So what does that mean? It means that it was ever filled, bustling city. Yeah? So Ayodhyayaha upavana saudadi nibidatvam, nibidaha ityukte the thick. So bhangyantarena, adopting a different method, a roundabout method, in a beautiful manner. Nakshatradi avedyatvena kathana. So avedyatvam, that which cannot be understood by nakshatra or those who did not know nakshatra at all. So tatha varnitatvat, because it is being described in a roundabout manner, the alankara here is called Parayoktam. So what we want to know is the nakshatra's kanti cannot even enter. But what does it also tells us? It also tells us that Rama's luster is so brilliant that everything else seems to pale. Nakshatradi kanti apekshaya Ramadhamnaha utkarshaha. Utkarshaha is there is an extra emphasis on Ramadhama, the luster of Rama, more than the nakshatra luster, right? So this difference is called Vyatireka, and that is not directly said here, but we understand it through Vyangyam. Vyangyam is suggestion. So it is suggested that you always have to look at what is directly described, and whatever is not directly described is actually a suggestion. And if that suggestion is much more beautiful, then there is a dhwani in that shloka. So here, this Vyatireka is dhvanyate. So it is a dhwani here, telling us that the luster of Rama, the light of Rama is so, the presence of Rama is so much that we can't even feel the presence of nakshatra or anything else. Okay, so this is a dhwani called Vyatireka. If it is expressed directly, then it is Vyatireka Alankara. Because this is not expressed directly and it is suggested, it is dhwani. Okay, now we look at the Pratiloma Shloka. Yadavenastu bharata samraraksha mahamanaha tamsa manadharo goman anema samadhamaraha. The padacheda here is Yadava inahatu Yadavenastu bharata samraraksha mahamanaha tam saha manadharaha goman anema asama dhama raha. Anema asama dhama raha. These are all adjectives for Yadava inaha. The main sentence here is Yadava saha iti naste atrasti. Saha Yadava inaha tu tam raraksha. Tam samraraksha. Where is this tam? Tam is here. So this is the main sentence here. Yadava inaha. So here he takes it as Yadavanam Prabhuhu. So one who is the Lord of all the Yadavas. Since Yadava is mentioned here, we know it is Krishna. And what is the city that Krishna protected? Dwaravati. We have been describing it from third shloka. Second and third shloka were a description of Dwarakapuri. Okay. Now, he follows the same pattern here also very beautifully, just as how he described the luster of Rama in the first one, as how he was present and how he enveloped the city of Ayodhya. In the same way, here also, he is saying that Krishna was there as the Lord of the Yadavas to protect the city of Dwaravati. So everything else is an adjective to Yadavenaha, Anema samadhamaraha, Goman, Manadharaha, Bharata, Saha Yadavenaha tu Tam Samraraksha. He protected Tam. Tam you will have to substitute from the earlier Pratiloma Padyam, which is Dwaravati. Okay. So now let's go word by word. Anema samadhama raha. Anema sama. Anema. First is when we split the word, we saw Anema, Asama, Dhama, and Raha. What is Anema? Na vidyate nemaha avadhihi. So, nemi is a chakram, chakra nemi kramena. Nemi is actually the circumference or the rim of the chakram. So it is the border of a chakram, right? In a way, in a sense, you can say that the rim of a wheel is like it, that is where the wheel ends. So avadhi is also the end. So nemaha, the meaning of the word nema is avadhi or end. Na avadhihi, Na vidyate avadhihi is that which does not have any end to it at all. Ananta. What are there are two things that are ananta here. Oh, there is one more adjective here. Na samaha vidyate iti asama. So anema, asama. Two things are there now. Sorry. Two adjectives for two of those things that he is going to describe. So what are the two adjectives? One is ananta, the other is nirupama. So niravadhika, nirupama. These are the two words. So endless and incomparable. What does he have, which are both endless and incomparable? He has both dhama and raha. Raha is an aikaranta padam. Okay, it is a raha, rayo, rayaha. We look at Shabda and if you go to aikaranta padaha, Shabdaha, there the word that will be given is rai. Rai is the pratipadikam here, whereas the first prathama ekavachanam would be raha. The prathama dvivachanam rayo, rayaha. Rayam, rayo, rayaha. Raharabhyam. So that's how it, raibhyam, sorry, because the I has to come there. No? So it goes on from there. So Rai is the Pratipadikam here. So Raha means Sampat or Lakshmi, Shrihi, any kind of Aishwaryam, wealth. Dhama, we have seen from Ramadhama, it is Tejas. So Yasya Tejaha Sampat cha Anavadhikau and or Anavadhike, because Sampat is a Strilinga Padam. Rai is also, you have both Strilingam and Pullingam, both are the same. Tejas is Napunsakalingam, but the ultimate Padam in a Dvandva will always have the same Lingam that is there for the last Padam. Yes? So when we have Matacha, Pitacha, we have Mata Pitarau, it will take on Pullinga. The same way here also. So Dhama Rayau is in Strilingam because it is Sampat, the Aishwaryam. So Aneme, Nirupame, Tejas Sampat. Yadava, Krishna, who has Tejas and Aishwaryam that cannot be compared at all, and that is endless. Ananta Kalyana Guna Vibhavaha Sahayati. Right? When we describe Vishnu, we say that he has a lot of Kalyana Gunas where we cannot even end. Yasya Ekaika Guna Prante Shranta Nigamavandinaha Ityasti. You look at Yadavabhyutayam, I think Samya is going to start that course. It's a beautiful text. Vedanta Deshika says, Ekaika Guna Prante. He is starting his kavyam to describe the qualities of Vishnu and Krishna. And Vishnu, whose each one of his qualities, the Vedas have been trying to describe it, but they could not go to the end of it, it seems. Ekaika Guna Prante, at the end of describing even one quality, Shrantaha, Nigama Vandinaha, Nigamaha ityukte Vedaha. The Vedas become very tired by just describing one guna to the end. They can't even go to that end. That is like Bhagavan is Vacham Agocharaha, one who does not come within the range of perception of speech at all. Right? Vacham Manasacha Agocharaha. So, Tadrisha Anema, Niravadhika Sampatta, Tasya Vartate. And Nirupama, you can't compare it to anything else, anybody else's wealth, because there is nobody else. It is only that Supreme Brahman which is there. So, Nirupama, incomparable wealth. Either you take it as Vishishtadvaita's Paravasudeva, or Advaita Mata Ritya Tatra Yadi Vayam Parabrahma Svikurmaha. In both, there is nothing to compare there. It is only that ultimate reality. Hence, it is incomparable. Ambalik solrache samanadhika varjita iti vadamaha. So nirupama, nirupama pritya. So okay. So dhama and raha, the tejas, luster and wealth are endless and it is incomparable. Tadrishaha yadava inaha. So this is the first adjective for our Krishna here. Okay. So niravadika nissama or nisima nissama Tejas Sampatyuktaha. And Nema in Medini Kosha, you will find that it is Keelam, Avadho, Garte, Prakare, Kaitavecha. There are different meanings for the word Nemaha. Avadhi is one of the meanings here that we are looking for. And Rai, as I said, is an Aikaranta Strilinga Padam. Okay, Raha, Rayo, Rayaha. We learn if you are learning Vyakaranam and Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, if you have learned Ajanta Pullinga Prakaranam, Ajanta Strilinga Prakaranam, this is where you will use all of those here. Okay, so the next other adjectives for Yadava. Goman. Gavaha asya santi iti Goswami saha. Gopalaha. Goman. Gavaha. Go, again, Go Shabdasya tu, there are many meanings. We are going to see that later. So, Atra, we take it as Goman. When we think of Krishna, Yadavanam Prabhu, then immediately we know that he is a Gopalaka. He is a cowherd. So, he protects all the cows there. And protection of cows is the best way to see it is during his Balalila in Vrindavanam and Gokulam. So Goman, one who protects, one who is the Swami of all the cows. Manadharaha, Manam Dharati iti Manadharaha. He is well honored, Mani Saha. And he is also a person who cannot take this thing to his honor, and that's why he fought against Jarasandha, all of the other Asuras also. So Manadharaha can mean two things. One is he himself is a person with a lot of self-esteem. And who always fights very nobly, or you can take it as one who protects the honor of everybody else around him. Manadharaha. Mahamanaha. Udarachetaha. One who has a great mind. Otherwise, could he have given the advice of Gita to Arjuna here? Not once, but twice. Now, many people may not know this. Gita was said once during the battlefield. After everything is over, Arjuna comes again to Krishna and he says, you said something during the battlefield. It has slipped my mind. Why don't you say it again? So that is a Arjuna Gita. There is a second Gita that he says in Mahabharata. Again to Arjuna because he forgot. So Tadrisha Udara Chittaha Saha. So he has such a great mind and such a large-hearted person, Krishna. He was willing to say the same thing again and again. No? Like he is the greatest teacher, that's why. Imagine 700 shlokas, but in a very short version, he would say the second time. Bha Rata. So Rata is the Dane, Ra Dane iti. That is the padam here. Danam, one who gives Bhaha Prakasham. Similar to Ramadhama. Ramadhama tam Ayodhyam asa. It gave light to Ayodhya such that the people Ayodhya vasinaha tu tatra taranam abhaha eva na veda iti. So they did not even know the nakshatra light such that because Rama gave light to the entire city. Correct? In the same way here also, Yadava, Krishna gave light to the entire city of Dwaraka. Bha Rata. Bhasam Rata. So here, Bhanam Rata mu irukla. Yeah, Bha Rata. You can have both here actually. Deeptinam Rata Data. Rata here is one who gives Data, Karta, iti Trich Anta. So Rata, it's a Rikaranta Padam, Ratri Shabda. So Bha Rata, one who provides light to everybody. When Krishna was present in the Bhulokam, everybody was feeling very happy about it. There is a description in Bhagavatam in the beginning when Krishna goes to Vaikuntham. Everybody will be completely depressed and the light of the earth would have gone, and the description of that will be very beautiful, very sad also at that time. So he is the light giver for the entire world here. Yadavenaha. Now here, first we won't take it as Surya here. Inaha iti Suryaha eva. But the Vyakhyata gives this meaning. So let's take this meaning and then I will tell you what is the significance of that. Yadavanam Inaha. Inaha iti chet Prabhu. One who is the Lord of Yadavas. Inaha Surya Prabhu Chandre. This is there in Amarakosham. I think so. Yes, it is. So Surya Prabhu Chandre. It is used in the sense of both Surya and Chandra. Imagine, you need to know the context of the other words, the context and the meaning of other words to determine whether the word Ina means Surya or Chandra. The same way, there is another word also which has both viruddha meanings. Sita is a word that can be used for white as well as black. So you will have to figure out who is being mentioned as black or white, or who is being seen here, and then you have to decide, or what object is being described. Then you have to decide whether that word indicates black or white. Sita iti padam. Atra inaha iti padam surye api upayoktam shaknamaha. We can also use it to mean prabhuhu or chandraha. Imagine what difficulties the Vyakhyata must have gone through to describe, to explain this, no? So he takes it as Prabhu. So Yadava Inaha, the Lord of all the Yadavas, the best among the Yadavas, which is Krishna, Saha Samraraksha, he protected Tam Dwaravatim Samraraksha. I think I did not mention that here. That's okay. So Tam Dwaravatim, Dwarakapurim, Samraraksha, he protected that city. So Raraksha again is a litlakara prayoga. Ramodantam is another text. I think Ramakatha is a course that Saumya has done in Yadava in Vyoma. You can check that out also. You will have a lot of these lit prayogas in such works. Even Ramayanam, if you go through, lot of lit prayogas. Lit lakara is used a lot in Puranas, in Itihasas. So familiarizing with litlakara is good, actually, so that you can read the literature and texts in our this thing. Now, there's a Vishesha here. We saw Ramadhama Samanenam Ityuktam Tatra. So Rama, the luster of Rama, which is equal to Surya. So we saw that it was expressed directly, and he was comparing Rama with the Surya very clearly. But here the Vyakhyata takes it as Ina to mean Prabhu, because he wants to say that he was the protector of the Yadavas. Just as how he was the protector of the cows also, he was the protector of the Yadavas, right? So he took Ina as Prabhu. But wherever your Vachyartha stops, that is, Vachyartha is the literal meaning, the direct meaning. So the direct meaning, we take it as, we can't take it as Surya here. So we take it as Prabhu, and the direct meaning stops here. Vachyartha prapti anantaram, after we get the literal meaning, the Shabda, the word Ina, the word go, the word ba, these words, and dhama, raha, all of these words give us some other meaning. It gives us another meaning, but that is not the literal meaning here. So it is a suggested meaning only because of the particular word Ina, go, dhama, raha, baha. These are the words I'm talking about. When these give rise to another meaning, and there is a big picture of Surya, the description of Surya in the background here, as a suggestion. So this is called dhwani, but that dhwani is based on Shabda, the power of the word Ina. So this is called Shabda Shakti Moola dhwani. So there is a Vachyartha and there is a Vyangyartha. There is a literal meaning and something you come up with in the suggestive level. And that suggestive level, how does it come up? So there is a definition given in Kavya Prakasha for this kind of dhwani, which is called Shabda Shakti Moola dhwani. The definition is Anekarthasya Shabdasya Vachakatve Niyantrite Samyogadhyaihi Avachyartha Dhikrit Vyapti Ranjanam. Let's forget about the Lakshanam here. What we want is, when we have Niyantritam, when we have controlled the Vachyartha, okay, take a Shabda for example. There is one word like Inaha in this particular example. It has many meanings. We saw Surya, Prabhu, Chandre, iti. But the context determines what the meaning is. Anekarthasya Shabdasya Vachakatve Niyantrite. When we control the meaning of that particular word into just this. So let's say we are describing Vishnu, and there is a word Hari that comes in that shloka. Tam samsaradhvantam harimede iti stotram asti. Harimede stotram no irukku. Adla வந்து tam samsara dhvanta vinasham harimede iti. Every shloka ends with that line. So we know that it is Hari or Vishnu who is being described. Suddenly I can't bring in the meaning of monkey there, or frog. Hari means Vayu, Agni, frog. It also means monkey, Kapihi, iti. So that's why when there is a small story, very funny story, where Narada asks for, he becomes very jealous and he says, Harimukam Dada iti. He asks him, Dehi, Harimukam Dehi. And so Vishnu gives him a monkey's face. So he says, I asked for Hari Mukham. Yes, Hari means both monkey and Vishnu, but then you did not specify which Hari. So Krishna plays Vishnu plays a trick on Narada, and he gives him the face of a monkey. This is in one of the Puranas there. So one word can have many meanings. Anekarthasya shabdasya. But the context determines samyogadhyaihi vachakatve niyantrite. When the literal meaning has been niyantritam, controlled by context, etc., etc. We have controlled it and placed it and given it one meaning. That's all. We say the others cannot be possible. But then what happens is avachyartha dhikrit anjanam vyapritihi. Vyapritihi is there is a vyapara of anjanam. Anjanam is dhwani. There is a dhwani vyapara which happens here. After I have confined the vachyartha, there is a vyangyartha that comes into play, which is not the literal meaning at all, because of the power of that word. Because of that, the word has different meanings. There is so many things that come about. Let's see what. So the vachyartha gives you the meaning of the word ina as Prabhu. Now go to the Vyangyartha. Ina can be taken as Surya. Ina kulatilaka. Surya kulatilakaha Ramaha. Iti. So Inaha can mean Surya. So he is describing Surya, who is also Mahamanaha. When you take Surya Devata, he is a large-hearted person. He becomes the entryway for all of the yogis who want to go to attain different lokas. When you are in the Upasana Marga, you take up when you see Mundakopanishad, I think it is in Mundakopanishad, 1 to 11. Suryadvarena te virajaha prayanti yatra amritaha sapurushaha hi avyayatma. So Suryadvarena eva sarve gachanti. So he is a Mahamanaha. He has he lets people go in, those who are all done upasanas. Of course, he was also great, large-hearted, because he arogyam bhaskara dichet. Our very existence needs health, and that health we get it from Bhaskara, Surya. So Mahamanaha, Manadharaha. Manadharaha is common for everybody there who has done great achievements and who also gives honor to everybody. Goman is a very interesting word. Gavaha not only means Pashu, it also means Kiranaha. Medinyam Kirane Vachi Go Shabda Parikirtitaha. If you go to Amara's Vyakhyanam, this Go for Kirana is not mentioned in the original Amarakosha. There are several additions that are there to Amarakosha. Vyakhyatas have taken from other koshas and also have described. So this is found in the Vyakhyanam of Amarakosha. He says Pashu. So Go iti Pashuhu. We'll look at just these three words. So Medini, Kirane, Vachi. So Medini, Bhumihi. Kiranam is Rashmi, rays. So Goman, iti Suryasya, Yaha, Asya, Yasya, Kiranaha Santi, Rashmayaha Santi, Sayeva Goman, iti Suryaha. So one who has rays. So Go Shabdaha, Vachi. Gauhu iti Vak also, Girvani, right? So Gauhu can mean Vak also, Bharati iti. If you look at if Champuramayanam Balakandam, Apa Gam Iva iti asti. So there is an Upamalankara there. But then for the word gam, apa, he reached gam iti. There he would have given 4 or 5 meanings for that. Bharati, Vak, Surabhi, Kamadhenu, ityadi. But here we are taking Kiranaha. So there should be some reference, no? Mahabharata has reference for this. Goman iti Suryaha. If you take Surya Shatakam, Dattananda, Gavo Vaf Pavananam Param Aparimitam Priti Mutpadayantu ityasti. Gavaha Vaha Pavananam Gavaha Vaha Pritim Utpadayatu. May the rays of Surya bring you happiness. Ityasti. So that is those who are all very pure and purified. May those rays give you happiness. So the word goman, iti chet krinaha asya santi. So this also gives us a clue that it could be a description of Surya. And bharataha, one who a giver of light. Of course, he is a ekam jyoti. He is the only jyoti prakasha swarupaha who gives light to the entire world. So sarva jagat prakashakaha. He has a prakasham and aishwaryam that has no limit. No, he is the one who gives light to every other object in the world. Right? In fact, Surya Upasana, Sauram is one of the Shanmatam that were established by Adi Shankara. Right? Sauramata, Shaiva, Vaishnava, Kaumara, Ganapatya, Shakta. The 6th Matam is Sauramatam. Sauramatam was very, very popular during this thing, during Treta Yuga, and even before that. So Surya was the Devata during the Vedic period when Vedas were at its peak. So Surya, that's why Surya has an Aishwaryam and Prakasha which is incomparable and endless. So all of these words seem to fit Surya also. Now, there are 2 things. One is a description of Krishna on the Vachyartha level, literal meaning. There is a description of Surya in the Vyangyartha. Now, where does this end? Why do we have to look at a non-contextual Surya here? He is not at all the context in our Kavyam here. Then we take the suggestion that Krishna is compared to Surya. He is equal to Surya here. Surya Narayana Rupena Tatra Vayam Pashyamaha. So, just as in the Anuloma Shloka, the Vratiloma Shloka has a reference to Surya here. And so, both our Nayakas are like the lustrous Surya who is present in the world every day. A very beautiful Shloka here. Let's just look at the Anuloma Padya's Bhavartham and the Viloma Padya's Bhavartham. So, in the Ramadhama Samanenam Agorodhanam Asatam Namaham Akshararasam Tarabhaha Tu Na Vedaya. So, Ayodhya Nayakaha Ramaha. Tasya Varnanam Atra Vartate. And he Ramamaya Prakashaha Sarvatra Vyaptaha Asti. And how is that Prakasha? It can remove all of the Papam. And Ayodhya is a Puri which did not know the light of Nakshatra because it was such a thick forest, and at the same time there were a lot of buildings, but at the same time it had light. If they did not know the Surya Prakasha, then what was the light that was lighting up the entire city? It was Ramadhama, Rama Prakasha. And that's why they were always in a festive mode. Now, Yadavenastu Bharata Samraraksha Mahamanaha Tamsa Manadharo Goman Anema Samadhamaraha. The Bhavartha here again, Dwaraka Puryaha Nayakaha Sri Krishnaha. Tam Varnayati Atra Yadavaha Krishnaha Tasya Prabhuhu Asit. He was the Prabhu, he was the Lord who protected the entire city of Dwaraka. And he was a Gopalaha, Gauravayuktaha, Udarachetaha. Tasya Tejo Vibhavo, both his stages and his wealth, the gunam. Wealth is not just your bank balance, okay? Wealth is all forms of, think of Ashtalakshmi here. Dhairya Lakshmi, Dana Lakshmi, Aishwarya Lakshmi, Santana Lakshmi, everything is there here. So wealth is not just money. Aparimitau, Anupamitau, that is, they both were endless and incomparable. Okay, so we finished with the 4A and B here. Ramadhama Samanenam Agorodhanam Asa ताम नामहम अक्षररसम ताराभास्तु नवेदया यादवेनस्तु भाराता संररक्ष महामनाः ताम समानधरो गोमान अनेमा समधामराः. Any questions? Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Baini, what is meter Baini?
And this one is Anushtup. I think I said before. The 3 and 4. 1 and 2 is Vidyul Leka. 3 and 4 is Anushtup.
Astu Baini.
Any other questions? Akhila Modya.
नमांसि महोदय.
नमांसि.
अत्र अनेम इत्यत्र विष्णुसहस्रनाम श्लोके अपि कालनेमिनिः इति आगच्छति खलु. तत्र कालनेमि इति असुरः आसीत्, किन्तु तत्र कालचक्रम् इति स्वीकुर्मः चेत् तस्य नाशकः इत्यपि स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते खलु.
कालनेमि कालनेमि निहन्ति इति निह. So kalasya kalaha eva nemihi chakram. So kalanemi kalanemim nihanti. So nemaha asya asti iti nemi chakram. That's why I said nema is the avadhi or the circumference of a chakram. So nemi is the chakram. Okay.
Atra asmakam पुनः पुनः तत्र यत् वर्तते तस्य निहा इति स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते वा? कालचक्रं तत्र भूतानां
नावगतम्.
अत्र संसारसागरे वयं स्मः खलु. अस्माकं तत्र
okay, one who destroys the kala chakram for whom yes naha eva tatra kimartam tatra kala swarupi bhagavan eva kimartam saha swasaiva swarupam tatra nasham karoti tatha nasti atra asmakam janma chakram vartate kalu, that is dependent on kala chakram. So there is another word for Vishnu which is mukumdaha. Mukum dadati iti mukundaha. Mukum nama moksham dadati. So he destroys that cycle of time for us and gives us moksha. Absolutely. Yes.
Dhanyawad.
Yeah. Kishore Modya? Yes. You have a question? Namaste.
Could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The question I have, because we are discussing these multiple words, the one word having the same different meaning. Okay. So one word that comes to my mind is the Pandava. So we all know Pandavas are the sons of Pandu, but it also means jackal. How does it mean the word Pandava becomes the word jackal? I mean that animal jackal.
I have to check the kosham, sir. I am not sure.
Kosham, because I was searching for it, I cannot find it. Where all these special words that we are seeing has totally different meaning. Where do you find it? It's not in our kosha.
In a way, you can, yes, they use many different koshas. I have been trying to find one kosha called Ratnamala. Ratnamala is mentioned in a lot of Vyakyanas. I don't know what kosha that is. So we'll have to look at those koshas. Generally, Apte is reliable. Yeah. Kalpadruma is good.
Yeah, this is the one that is available through the ashtadhyayi.com, but they don't have those two words that I'm looking for. One is the word Drona, which we know that Drona, the warrior Drona, the
Drona also means bucket. Drona also means valley because it is in the shape of a bucket.
Okay, and it also means crow. So where are those? That is what I was looking for. I can find those in this normal
normal dictionaries will be difficult. You can look at something called Medini Kosha, which is available in archive.org. So Medini Kosha might have some of these words.
Okay. Like the Hari, I think it is pretty common, but
yes.
All right, thank you.
No worries, sir. Yes. Gomati Mahodaya? Yeah. You can unmute yourself. You have a question?
Yeah, I remember reading about the meaning for Pandava. And the eggs are laid in the water. So that means it refers to the fish, Pandava also. the word also means fish. Remember there was one something there was a reference to that Keshava,
Yes.
all the Kauravas were crying. So
Yes.
there the one meaning is that there are fish there. So the vulture or something, they are happy to see the fish there, so they get the food. So Pandava also means that. I remember that. That's what I wanted
Possible.
to. Yeah.
Okay. So there is another kosham called Ekakshara Kosha, where you have meanings for each letter. So people use that and compose poems also. Yeah, that's there too. Indra Modya? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. I don't know. Okay. Any other questions? You can. Narayan Swami Modya. Yes, I don't know who's. Namaste.
So my question is, in Alankara Shastra, this word allam itself means sufficient, right? But in 4a, we find there is a kind of excess of description. In fact, there's a term which I don't immediately recollect. Now, the way you describe it looks like out of, putting too much stuff in the form of simile there. Is that typically allowed in literature? Because usually commentators frown upon excessive comparison also.
Excessive comparison, Ramadhama Samanenam is excessive angrila. I don't know.
Is he referring to Atishayokti or something?
No. Here you can't have. Tarabhaha na Veda can have Atishayokti. Actually, that is not Atishayokti. I would rather take it as Udapta Alankara, where you are talking about the grandeur of Ayodhya. No? You're describing it in this manner. Atishayokti in Garche Yoge, I guess you can say Atishayokti here like the Rasalasta Bhamaka. How Surya was standing on top of all the mango trees, we described, right? So we can have Atishayokti here, wherein it's an hyperbole. You need hyperbole. We need all these alankaras in kavyam. Otherwise, it is just normal talk like how you and I are talking. That's not kavyam.
So once in a while, dressing up is allowed.
Of course, it is needed. But when you go to higher text, see, this is a very basic texts in the sense of Alankara Shastra. I spoke about that Shabda Shakti Mula Dhwani, right? More and more, if there is Dhwani and suggestion, then that becomes an Uttama Kavyam. These are not Uttama Kavyas.
That becomes very subtle. Nice communication.
The more subtle it is, the better it is.
Yes, that is right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No worries.
No.
Any other questions? Namaste. Indra Modya?
Pandava could mean Pandava Varna, Shweta Varna. The story goes that when Vedavyasa came, Pandava's mother, Kunti, not Pandava's mother, they covered themselves with a white cloth. So, and Pandu was supposed to be having some kind of a disease where he was like a leukoderma. So he was white, and Pandava because of the people with born of white.
Yes, that meaning is there. Pandu iti padam is very commonly used in the sense of adavadhu and velirnda abdingrom illaya Tamil, when we say velirnda mugam, that which is like pale or white, that we can it's nice. So that's another meaning also. True. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Then we'll finish. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Dhanyavadaha.